Hi, this is your girl Wilma, and we're going to be studying in the King James Version Bible and the Holy Bible, and we're going to turn to Luke chapter 10. But before I tell you about Luke chapter 10, I would like to tell you a true story. And it starts like me and Jerry, my husband, preacher man, they call him, was going to the church up where we live at, and there's this guy living in a tent, and I said, it's getting awful cold, and why is he in a tent, and it just worried me something awful. Just wondering if he was hungry and stuff. And I said, let's go back to McDonald's and let's buy him a dinner. And he said, well, I'm going to go and stop in the grocery store and buy him some unperishable items that won't spoil. So he got him a bunch of canned food and vannies and crackers and soups and spoons and stuff like that and bowls. And we took it to him, loaf bread and bologna so he can eat right then. And the hamburgers. We bought him some hamburgers and fries and a drink. So we took it to him, and he was so tickled. He was sitting there on the side of the road. He was praising God. It's something wonderful. I just felt so good within my spirit because I felt like God told us to do that. And some people falls by the wayside, and they get into a predicament like that. And be the good Samaritan that God had you to be. He called you into this world to help, be the helping hand, be His helping hand. Also, we was going to Walmart one day, and we saw on the bridge there was this man sitting there with a sign. He was needing money to pay his electric bill and water bill and things like that. And I said, well, we can't give you much, but we'll give you what we can. And so, and I said, he gave him $20, and the next week we went to Walmart again. And there was this lady, same man was up there with his sign, but there was a lady on the other end of the bridge, and she holding a sign that needed to feed her children. So we gave her some money, and we didn't go buy the food because we didn't have much money at that time, to help more than what we could. The Bible wants you to, Jesus was talking in the Word that He wants you to be the Good Samaritan. Don't drive by like they are no count people, like you're too good to help them, like you got other people in your family that needs help. You probably help them all the time. But just remember about this scripture right here. As people passed it by, this man that fell by the wayside. Now let's read it. In Luke chapter 10, we're going to start at 25. But I know that part is not about the Good Samaritan, but it goes on to say, all right, we're going to start chapter 10, Luke, go down to verse 25. And it's a pretty long scripture, so I want you to bear with me, okay? And it says, and behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tempted him, saying, Master, what shall I do to inherit the eternal life? He said unto him, what is written in the law? How readest thou? And he answered and said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered it right. This do, and thou shalt live. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered it right. This do, and thou shalt live. I said that. I wanted to read that twice to you. But he, willing to justify himself, said unto Jesus, And who is thy neighbor? And Jesus answered, and answering said, he gave him a big riddle. A certain man went, like a parable, Jesus done in parables, and mostly like riddles. And Jesus answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead. And by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed it by on the other side. What about a priest? You would have thought. And likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked it on him and passed it on the other side. What do you think about that guy? Do you think these people felt like they was too good to help him? I don't know. All right, 33 verse. But a certain Samaritan, that's just like me and you. We're going to be Samaritans. As he journeyed, came where he was. And when he saw him, he had compassion on him and went to him and bounded up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast, and brought him to an inn, and took care of him. Awesome. And on the morrow, when he departed, he took out 2 pence and gave them to the host. Let's read the rest of it. And said unto him, take care of him, and whatsoever thou spendest more, when I come again, I will repay thee. Which now of these 3 thinkest thou was a neighbor, or thou was neighbor unto him? That fell among the thieves. Who was the neighbor? It was a good Samaritan. Somebody that was no kin to him. Somebody didn't even know him. Just helped him. Done everything in his power to help him. Now that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go way out of our way to help someone has fallen among the way. I mean, you don't have to be beaten or robbed, but you could have fell along the way, and misfortune came your way. And, it could be us on the side of the road with a sign or in a tent. It could be one of us. We never know what has happened to them people. We don't know. They could have not even got their checks that month, because we know somebody that ain't got their checks in 5 months, and they're just living on their wits. So you never know who are you going to help, and what kind of joy that you put in their hearts, and what kind of help you can help them. Help them whatever they need. If it's in your power, I didn't say overdo it. I mean, Jesus didn't say overdo it. He just said, if it's in your power, help them. The Lord don't want you to overdo it. And the person told Jesus, and he said, he that shewed mercy on him. Then said Jesus unto him, go and do what? Thou likewise. Yes. Now I tell you, ain't that one of the greatest scriptures in the Bible? That being a good Samaritan. Ain't it wonderful that there are people out there in this world that has compassion and has that love of Jesus in their heart that would help you in your time of need. Just like we would help those people in a time of need. We're not wanting to brag of what we done. I didn't want to do that. I was wanting to express and have an open meaning of that scripture. So I pointed out what me and Jerry did. I didn't want my errands be told to everybody, but if it's a helping me to explain the scripture to you, I'm going to tell it like that. And I thank you for stopping by my channel, and I hope you share this video to others, even on your Facebook. Tell people about this channel and tell them that I'm helping you. And tell me in comments where you from. I would love to know where you from. And if you got a prayer request or an unspoken request, please put it on there. I will pray with you. And if you need a prayer cloth, you know, put it on there. I'll send you one. You have to put your address though, and some people don't like doing that. But if you need one, I will pray a week on that prayer cloth before I send it to you. And my husband will too. We'll both be praying a week before we send it to you, to make sure that that prayer is going to be heard. And tell me where you're from. I would love to know where you're from. I'm from Kentucky. You probably know by my accent. Yeah? Well, anyway, I thank you for stopping by my channel, and I hope I'm helping you. And I'll be praying for you, and please be praying for me, because I've had so much trouble with my throat, where I can't swallow, where I can't speak, where I can't sing. Please, please keep me in your prayers, because I have had so much trouble. That's why I've not been on YouTube doing my Bible verses, because I could only speak maybe one or two words. So please pray for me. Keep me in your prayers, and I will keep you in my prayers. Thank you for stopping by.